allowed the two children to have the budget. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. We shout Maiyegun don come, Maiyegun don come, man of the masses.
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us again. It is Maiyegun Live.
MaiyegunDiary, Politico.
Consider this as the continuation of our program this afternoon. Read the caption of this broadcast and read beyond the caption of the broadcast. Read the description of this broadcast, like it, share it, and invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Maiyegun today. We shall be spending a lot of time in River State tonight. It's an update, you know. Like I said this afternoon, before the gun started blazing, you should not miss any of the action. It's with a Wike versus Fubara, and at least you should know why this is becoming tensed and interesting as well. If the election, the local government election should hold tomorrow, Fubara has sworn that it will hold. That is going to be the end of Wike's political career base, whatever it is. The only product he is currently using as the only structure is using to negotiate with Tifnumbu. Once they take that away from him, it's over. Thank you, Motide. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Maiyegun Live. And thank you so much for joining me as usual. If you participated in the program this afternoon, you are aware of what transpired early this morning in River State. And those who have been following the political development in River State between the supposed godfather and his own stooge godson, Wike versus Fubara. Even though some believes that this whole fight is all about 2027, I said no. If you must know what this political leverage truly means and why Wike is wielding so much power, so much influence, it is like fighting for his own political life, political survival at the detriment of the people of River State. Let me give you a background. The reason why it is sounding like, is it not local government election? Why is it so important? Why is it becoming so kind of dramatical? I'll tell you. Normally, right, all these political actors in Nigeria, what they usually do is that they install their own loyalists at the local government level. The reason why the supposed the closest government to the people, local government. The reason why they are never so close to the people is because, number one, people didn't, they don't really have the right or the power to elect or choose who becomes their local government chairman. From the source, it is always the governor or the governor's godfathers that will choose those that will be at the local government level. Now, at the local government level, their job is just one simple job: to keep the people within their political family, they call it, so that whenever there is any major election, like general election, presidential election, senatorial elections, or governorship elections, like the normal elections, right? They need the grassroots. And that is why you will see some of these political criminals in Nigeria brag about having grassroots presence. They will tell you that if you want to become anything, you will need to get closer to those political godfathers, because they control the politics at the grassroots level. And grassroots control level is that the local government chairman, their job is to share the largesse of the government among their loyalists, so that when they need to rig election and all that, they can control the leverage at the local government level, not because of development per se, just to make sure that when the numbers are going to be coming in, they come from the local government level. So whoever controls the grassroots controls the politics. And that is why Tifnumbu and like many others have invested so much in the political thuggery at the local level. You may see them flying high when it comes to the governorship, senator, and all of that. The people that actually decide who become what are those they put at the local government level. And if you lose that, you are just a flying or floating politician. It's going to be a matter of time. You become history. So when Wike was talking about his political structure, he wasn't talking about the people that benefited from it, who became either governor, or you became reps, or you became senators. No. He's talking about those that hold the base for him. The ones that will tell you or attack you if you are not from their political base, right? They will attack you, tear your posters, attack your campaigns and all that at the grassroots level. And that is why whoever controls that controls the politics of the states. So, Wike have done so much to prevent the Rivers State people or Rivers State government conducting the local government elections. And that is why when Fubara was coming in, there were those that were kind of like the local government chairman. All of them were loyal to Wike. So when Fubara decided not to pay Wike money anymore, after 3 months, it was like he signed his own political death. So the first shot at him was from the assemblyman that, you know what, get rid of him, remove him. So when that couldn't happen, then they activated the second one, which would be, in fact, the assembly guys had to actually empower the supposed local government chairman by extending their tenure. How can you extend the tenure of elected officials? So they did that while Fubara was bidding his time to get them off and appoint caretaker. So when he did that, you saw all the drama that they were like, no, we are still the one in office. We are the one elected. The House of Assembly, they have appointed us. They have extended our stay. So illegal. Sorry. I know some of you are probably putting money on it now that we'll soon remove the cap. I won't remove it, but I'll keep adjusting it. My problem is that they can't stay in my head for too long. So sorry about that. Anyway, Fubara removed these guys, and almost like every day they were protesting, because that is a prelude to dismantling the supposed political structure of Wike. The same structure is used in rigging ridiculously for Tifnumbu, ridiculously for Fubara that made him governor. So Fubara now appointed his own loyalists. But they need legitimacy. To have that legitimacy, it simply means they will need to go for an election. That was where Wike now pulled his own stunt by ensuring that it continues to control the PDP structure that could have given them the ticket to become candidates for local government elections. And the next joker was for Fubara to tell all his loyalists to go to another political party and contest for that local government election for legitimacy. So with Wike and his own guys, they went to court to stop any conduct of any elections. They lost. Then they went on to go and get an ex parte order from a federal high court that says they must not conduct any election for two reasons. Number one, if they succeed in conducting that election and the winners are announced and sworn in, it is over. Simply put, right, the Fubara will now have the control of all the 23 local government areas filled with his own people, including the councillors and all of that. That is massive. They won't let that happen. The second thing is that Fubara, as a government, like with Wike before him, they need the local government allocation. Because normally, for the state governors, local government allocation is like their piggy bank. Sure you get. After they collect their state allocation, then they will also collect local government allocation, which they run with the state as a joint account. It is their piggy bank. So Wike believes that since the Supreme Court of Nigeria ruled that except you have elected local government officials, you would not have access to the local government allocation. So they went to court to stop that. That is, stop the election so that whoever are those occupying the local government areas, right, they can continue to occupy the place until 2027. But there will be no election. As this says, there will be no election, there will be no allocation. So it will be a matter of, it will just be a matter of time before the River State people will begin to come for him. So they have been staging different kind of protests. Shockingly, a court now ruled that there must be an election. And in fact, it must be held on the 5th of October, tomorrow. So this morning, early this morning, arrived in River State, some selected policemen from Imo State. Their job was to go and take over the River State Independent Electoral Commission. That is the body that is responsible for organizing local government election. Okay? Their job was to take over the premises. Meanwhile, before they arrived, a few days ago, the police IG withdrew all the policemen, right, supposedly protecting the RCEC. Removed or replaced the commissioner of police, Kimi Disu. Now, Disu has been redeployed out of River State. And they have been waiting to say, okay, who is going to be the commissioner of police for River State? Nobody. So all of these were the strings that Wike was pulling from Abuja to ensure that there is no local government election. The party that was supposed to be the government, the party in power, PDP, they now said, no, they are not participating because Wike said they should not participate because there will be no election. He assured them there will be no election. Don't disturb yourselves. But shockingly, Fubara got an order that says there must be an election. So what should we do? Let's mobilize the people that will say they are not going to participate. And nobody should participate too, because there is going to be an ex parte order that will stop the election. Unfortunately, the federal high court that they got there, it's not even judgment to ex parte. Ex parte order means some people have brought a case before us concerning River State local government elections. We are going to listen to their case. But until we listen to the case, nobody should do anything. Everybody should maintain status quo, which is there should not be any election. Meanwhile, the status quo in River State before that, the status quo from the High Court of River State before the Federal High Court Abuja said ex parte It's not a court order, it's ex parte order. It was that there must be an election. So if you have to say status quo, that means there must be election. Okay? Then the court will now decide your case, the merit of it later. That's what Fubara is relying on. But the ones with the ex parte order, with the weakest men, they are like, no, the status quo was that there should be no election. So in this state of confusion, some selected policemen from Imo states arrived in River States, and they told the policemen they were providing a security for the River State Independent Electoral Commission. Commission. They told them to leave, order from above. And that was when Fubara mobilized his men to the place this morning. And look at them. When they were leaving, it showed that they were acting based on the order of somebody that actually doesn't want any peace in that state. Look at them. So when Fubara and his men arrived, it became a rowdy thing. And that was the first time people would see Fubara fume like this. And he has something to say to the police IG.
Gentlemen of the press, we came here this morning when we heard that according to what they call themselves, Nigerian police, are coming to take over the premises of River State Independent Electoral Commission. And I had to come myself to find out why would such a thing happen. From what I heard, that DC operation brought them here to withdraw policemen that are already here protecting this place, so that new officers will take over the place. But I have to say this on a very strong note. We've been taking enough nonsense from this institution. Everybody is aware of the court judgment, and even the judgment as they call it, the ruling. Did the ruling specify anywhere that the election should not hold? He said, don't give voters register. What are we doing with it? Okay, police, don't provide security. Don't provide security. Is this the same thing as blocking the election? I don't know what the relationship between Inspector General of Police and one person who claims he has so much power in this state. I don't know the relationship, because it's beginning to go beyond the normal professional relationship. I said the government wrote a letter with the judgments that we have to him, and what he's acting on is what he called the federal government, the judgment he got from the Federal High Court. Even at that, if we should go by that, the judgment in the Federal High Court, did he say election should be bad? Lifu, that's that justice that gave that fraudulent judgment. Did he say no election? Rather, it technically said don't provide. We don't need your security. We will provide our own security. After all, it happened in Anambra. Go away with your security. But this election must hold. If you like whatever it is you want to do, do it. The election result will be declared. People will be sworn in. I say it here. What kind of a country is it? And when it comes to the issue of River State, it becomes different. You're not ashamed of yourself. You call yourself Inspector General of Police.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. I will be here. In fact, if I go back and I hear anybody, I will come here. This is my property. And you don't have any power whatsoever to bar me from entering it. Yes. Just try it. That part of your history as a very wicked and fraudulent Inspector General of Police will include shooting Fubara.
Yes.
I think I've given you enough respect. Well, let me say it to all Rivers indigents. Everyone residing in River State, election will hold.
Yes.
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 Election will hold. Yes. Anything that wants to happen, let it happen.
We are here. Other states did. Yes. We are here.
I don't understand.
I'm not going anywhere. Let it fear anybody. We are here.
All other states did. So, everybody, just relax. Nothing is happening.
Nothing, no.
We are ready. If we know that this is going to be the last fight, and we will take it to the end. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So that's Fubara's first time that you will see Fubara actually speaks that strongly. I'm talking about him not speaking like, break dancing the way he normally speak, like in break and all that. It was like, what is the relationship between Wike, a man that claimed to be so powerful, that the police IG, Inspector General of Police Nigeria, will take order from him. Okay? I mean, what relationship should be between the police IG and FCT minister? That shouldn't be, there should be beyond professional relationship. That the police IG has shown his bias so much that he is comfortable carrying out illegality enough on the order of one man that claimed to be so powerful with a Wike. And according to him, if this is going to be the last fight, so be it. Do you know why? If Fubara succeed tomorrow in taking over all of the local government areas, it's over for Wike. Like, over politically. That simply means, even if he has to bring INEC in 2027, if Nubu no go see, he no go see 10 votes. No amount of federal. I'm not saying that like they won't do the abracadabra rigging. It won't like take place in River State. And if that should happen, then Wike is no longer useful to Tifnumbu. It will be no longer useful. All this gra-gra, politically, it will become useless to him. The reason why he is having this upper hand, and he will do anything and everything. He will be given whatever it is he wants to stop Fubara. But that is why you are watching this broadcast. Tomorrow, you are going to see the militants come out with their guns. And the Wike's men are also going to come out with their own guns. So it's going to be gun versus guns. But if the guy succeeds tomorrow in conducting his election as they are already set, you can begin to count the days for Wike politically. Mind you, the contraption is already a lawless place. And this, as they say, he who want to face the likes of Wike or APC, you must be as lawless as they are. And that is what is on display as we speak. So immediately after that, his own men took over the streets in River State, Port Harcourt to be precise, this morning. I'll share one with you.
Go! ways about it. Local government elections must hold in Rivers State. Rivers people are ready to select their chairman tomorrow, 5th of October 2024. No two ways about it. We are resolute, and Rivers people must vote. No attempt by rogue security agencies can thwart this election.
Like I said, in Nigeria, if you want to face the likes of Wike or APC or even PDP, you must match them with the same madness, with the same violence. If a gunshot is fired there and all of them scattered, they are not running away. They will go in and they will bring out their own guns. And whether na police or whether na army, everybody will begin to shoot themselves. That is how much level of craze that exists in Rivers State when it comes to their politics. When Wike took dominance of Rivers State politics, with the support of the federal backing at the time, when Amaechi was in charge, but with the support as well of the people. You get what I mean? People felt like Amaechi betrayed them by giving what they believe traditionally their state PDP and took it to the APC. So those who got divided, majority of them actually hated him for it. Despite the fact that he was the governor, he has the string, to the pulse of the state, right? Wike that was coming in at the time was seen as somebody who was coming to rescue them from what Amechi did them. So it didn't take long for Wike to gain dominance because of the support of the people there, right, who are ready. If you kind of shoot a gun right there, everybody go inside, go bring their own guns out. It is always like that. I mean, no, because I won't slide all of you for Edo. When we are talking about people who get craze for Nigeria, mad politics, you will give it to them in River States. We have seen them; they've done that many times. Now, Fubara might be like an underdog, somebody that a lot of them are currently, in fact, they are currently probably wondering, like, this guy, this is most unexpected, unbelievable. So the last fight is tomorrow. Remember, this is not because of for Rivers. So even though some of you from River State watching this broadcast will be like, we no get grief for them. With a weekend, we go deal with them. But last, you are only taking away the sort of power over yourself that you gave to Wike, which he has now taken over. I mean, taken to a camp that you did not really support, APC. So Fubara is now the new face of that struggle of what used to be the River State kind of politics. So he's going to get all this support in it. Like somebody said that they are watching from River State, Port Harcourt. Tomorrow they will bury Wike politically. Meanwhile, those who benefited for 8 years under Wike, they are not different from those who benefited under Amechi for 8 years too. Some of them felt so untouchable, so powerful, until the table turned and Wike took charge. Wike himself is now living above board, thinking that power was like invincible power. So it's going to be challenged tomorrow. So after that street show, street rally, and the rest of that, they decided to actually become the security guiding the RCX office themselves, since they do not have police commissioner. Imagine the police IG deploying the commissioner of police of a state because of politics to make them vulnerable. And what will happen? So that the loyalists of Wike can come out and begin to shoot at people, right? Before we get to that, a reporter with the channel's television had this to say about a statement or presser given by the supposed PDP today, that if tomorrow Fubara go ahead and kind of conduct the election and announce results and winners, the states will go into unbelievable chaos until maybe Tinubu would have to declare a state of emergency. Here is another thing. You can't declare a state of emergency in any state and remove the governor anymore. Obasanjo did that when he declared state of emergency in Plateau State. Remove the Joshua Darie. Now, their law says if you declare a state of emergency in any state, the governor will just become the sole administrator of the state. You can't appoint anybody to replace him. So I don't think that's going to be an option. But from what this reporter had to say, tomorrow is pregnant. And nobody knows what is going to born.
Developing. Let's cross over to our correspondent, Charles Operum, is out there on this to just give us some updates on what the current situation is. Charles, so what is going on now in Rivers about the elections?
Okay, Chamberlain. Right now I'm within the premises of the People's Democratic Party's secretariat, and the chairman, Aaron Chukwuemeka, has just finished briefing the press. A summary of what he said in his press briefing is that the People's Democratic Party are not going to be taking part in the election. Of course, we said that before, but it gets more interesting. He enjoined every member of the PDP in Rivers State to oppose the election, not to take part in the election, and of course, boycott the election. And then further, he went on to say that any attempt to announce any result from that election would be a call to anarchy and violence. So this was a 7-point press briefing by the chairman of the People's Democratic Party here in Rivers State. He commended the Rivers State Police Command for standing by the judgment of the Federal High Court in Abuja, and went on to say that nobody will be allowed to flout that judgment. So that is a summary of the press briefing by the chairman of the People's Democratic Party here in Rivers State. That press briefing ended about 5 minutes ago, and that's why I was able to join right now. Chamberlain.
Speaking about the police, who is the commissioner of police now? We understand that there was supposed to be a change. Has that happened?
So it's interesting because by this time last week, the commissioner of police was CP Olatunji DC. As of this moment, there is a level of uncertainty over who the commissioner of police in Rivers State is. But it's interesting because this morning, when the spokesperson of the Rivers Command released a statement, he added a picture of CP Olatunji DC in the statement that he released. That would suggest that they continue to recognize DC as the commissioner of police in the state. But when the PDP protested to the police command yesterday, they weren't received by DC. They were instead received by the deputy commissioner of police in charge of operations, DCP Adepoju Olubenga. So, as of this moment, there is a level of uncertainty about who the commissioner of police in Rivers State is right now.
I don't know if you can also tell us, because we understand that the governor was also holding a press briefing this morning. Can you tell us if you have heard anything so far from that press briefing?
I mean, the governor had a broadcast this morning. That broadcast ended a couple minutes ago. I haven't read through the details of that broadcast, but basically, the snippets I've seen so far, of course, the report will be coming in. It hasn't come in already. It's basically that he's standing by the election, his insistence that the elections will go on as planned, and he's calling on the people of the state to not be frightened, to come out to vote for candidates of their choice, and to stand by their choices, their political choices. So that's basically a summary of the governor's broadcast. It's a little bit lengthy, but it happened this morning, about maybe 20 minutes ago.
So I think the governor must have gotten up very early, because we understand that he was out there. I mean, we saw images of that as well, trying to intercept some policemen. I mean, there were reports that some policemen had gone there to take away election materials. What information do you have about that? Any updates on it?
So, yes, that information is correct. At about 1 a.m. today, there were reports that some policemen were at the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, where they attempted to forcefully breach the facility. Now, the governor, alongside his loyalists, including the likes of the Chief of Staff, Edison here, Victor Okojumbo, Tokari Goodboy, Awajia Abiyanzi, these are loyalists of the governor. They came there and they successfully, ejected those policemen who tried to force their way into the facility. That happened at about 1 a.m. today. And immediately afterwards, they mobilized their people, their loyalists, who are there keeping watch. I was there earlier this morning. They have canopies blocking one side of Aba Road, directly in front of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission office, which is, interestingly, almost opposite to the 6th Division Nigerian Army headquarters. It's just directly opposite there. And they've been singing, dancing, chanting, keeping watch. I spoke to one or two of them while I was there, and they said they don't trust the police. So they are here to protect the rejects by themselves and to make sure that nobody takes them unawares. So that is happening right now as we speak.
How is that going to play out? It'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because we know that even for the other states that have conducted local government elections, usually the police is there to provide security. Does Rivers State have any other security outfit that can fill that role if the police is not wanted?
So now we're leaving the realm of facts to the realm of conjecture. Yes, indeed, Rivers State has other security agencies. There is the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. There is the Nigerian Army who are there. I saw soldiers there as well. There is the EFCC, there is the Immigration Service, there is Customs, and then there is the Neighborhood Watch and OSPAC, which are the local vigilantes. I say this because the chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, came out to say that the police is not the only security agency that can provide security for this election. And that if the police do not provide security for them, then they will resort to looking for other security agencies to provide security. So He did not specify which security agency they would be using, but it's safe to say there is no love lost at this moment between the police and RISEC.
So the thing about that is this: the atmosphere there at the moment is tensed, and I think it will be tomorrow, because the governor coming out by that time in the morning, and of course, you know, he had these hangers on who were also at least towing the line, the narrative of what he was saying. He was talking tough. And then you just told us now that the Rivers PDP themselves also asking their members to go out there and oppose it. So you're going to have two sets of people, those who wanted to hold and those who will oppose. And now we don't know what happens at that point in time. So how is this going to play out? Because even you have to be careful on that day as well.
I mean, I have to be even careful today because I was physically attacked myself when I got there. I was saved by a very good boy who is a member of the assembly, loyal to the governor. So I already understand the tension. I have physically felt it myself. And you can only...
If you find yourself in Rivers State, if you don't get business there, you go there. So they're practically telling everybody that tomorrow, it's going to be war between two warring factions. What that reporter was describing in his report is this. Let me show you. As the people have taken over the entrance or the opposite adjoining road to the RISEC, Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission office. Let's see. Sorry, one sec. So that's them. In front of the RISEC is called Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, where they believe that the election that we hold tomorrow, the materials that will be used and everything therein is properly secured. And like I told you, local government elections in Nigeria is not like a normal election, okay? It is just selection, like a coronation, where the selected people, anointed people, will go through a particular ritual that pretends to be like an election, and the winners will be announced. Their job is to be the foot soldier for the person who gave them that ticket or who gave their names up, like you know, the local government chairman and women. So anything that is going to disturb that, well, they are claiming that they will be ready for the war. And that's what tomorrow is all about, going to be all about. And today, the speaker that is loyal to Fubara had this to say at their sitting today, by the way, just so you see that too.
River State House of Assembly. Dear Mr. Speaker, request for consideration and approval of medium-term expenditure framework 2025 to 2027. It is my pleasure to forward the medium-term expenditure framework 2025 to 2027 for the consideration and approval of the River State House of Assembly in terms of the River State Fiscal Responsibility Law number 8 of 2010. The document contains the Economic and Fiscal Update, EFU, the Fiscal Strategy Paper, FSP, and the Budget Policy Statement of the River State Government for the period of 2025 to 2027. As customary, the 2025 River State Government budget is anchored on the economic outlook, predictions, and assumptions on the nation's oil production rate and price benchmark, exchange rates, and the state's fiscal policy direction as detailed in the medium-term expenditure framework, which is here attached. Thank you for the kind consideration of my request by the House, and please accept, Mr. Speaker, the assurances of my highest regard. Signed, Sir Siminala Fubara, Grand Service Star of River State, Governor of River State. Distinguished honorable members, by way of announcement, I would like to, on behalf of the River State House of Assembly, make an announcement to inform the general public the Nigerian state is one based on principles set out in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Consequently, by virtue of Section 13 of the 1999 Constitution, it is the fundamental obligation of government, which includes government bodies, its officials, and individuals in governance, to respect and implement the principles enshrined in the Constitution. On the 11th day of July 2024, the Supreme Court, in suit number XC/CV/343/2024, delivered a landmark judgment affirming the financial autonomy of Nigeria's 774 local government councils. In that judgment, the Apex Court mandated that at all times there must be a democratically elected local government council in place, mandating all 36 states to comply. Furthermore, Justice IPC Igwe, on the 4th day of September 2024, in suit number PHC/2696/CS/2024, made an order, 1, mandating the River State government and the executive governor of River State, whose constitutional duties, as enshrined in Section 7(1) of the 1999 Constitution, and in line with the Supreme Court's judgment on the 11th day of July 2024, to ensure and make adequate provision for the conduct of election into the local government councils of River State. 2, mandating the River State Electoral Commission, RISEC, to utilize in their custody the National Register of Voters for the year 2023 general elections as compiled by the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC. 3. Mandating the Nigerian Police Force, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Nigerian Army, and any other security agencies to provide adequate security and ensure maintenance of peace, law, and order during and after the elections on the 5th day of October 2024. However, it is worthy of note that the Rivers State government, which is deeply rooted in the adherence of the rule of law as enshrined in the Constitution, has kickstarted all mandatory processes towards the local government elections slated for the 5th day of October 2024. In view of the above, and as upholders of the rule of law, the 10th River State House of Assembly aligns itself in totality with the rule of law and judgments of both the Apex Court and the most recent order given by Justice IPC Igwe of the...
So, in a nutshell, they are doing everything according to the law. They are doing what the law says, and anyone that is trying to stop them from carrying that out is trying to, to activate illegality. That is the speaker, or should we say the Fubara's speaker. After the suspension of the 27 supposed with the weakest lawmakers. But Ankyo Briggs, I have a little bit of light to shed on this. That, you know who Ankyo, this woman is, right? She is one of the supposed leaders of River State. I want you to listen to her a little bit.
When the story broke last year that the governor of River State, Governor Similaye Fubara, was going to be impeached, it came as a shock to the people of River State. I think it came as a shock to the governor because he kept asking, what have I done? Now, stepping back from that, because we were in shock, but now a lot of stories have come out, and the first claim is that the former governor is responsible for the emergence of the present governor, Governor Similaye Fubara, which is not untrue. But one human being cannot make one person a governor of a state. That mathematically is not right. Everybody has one vote. Now, what the former governor of River State did, and which he accepted that he did, that he bought 14 forms for 14 persons, of which Similaye Fubara was one of them. At some stage, everybody else was told to drop their ambition for Similaye Fubara. Now, there is a political dichotomy in River State, and that's why Similaye Fubara, who is from a particular ethnic group, was given the ticket. We have an upland riverine dichotomy in River State. And whatever may have transpired between the former governor and the present governor is not the problem of Rivers people, because we did not go into that agreement, as the former governor calls it,
right,
or understanding with the present governor and the former governor.
Okay.
Now, we have become, along with the present governor, the victims. The state itself is now held hostage, along with the people of River State, along with the governor of River State, and every other person who is in the governor's, the present governor's cabinet. And
yes,
so we are definitely not in agreement
right.
with whatever that is going on.
You get that now? So Ankyo Brick says, which is true, whatever agreement that Fubara and Wike had, right now, the people of River State are being held hostage because Wike want to take his pound of flesh. And that agreement was that 30% of the state's revenue, including allocations from Abuja, will be given to Wike, the former governor, where he will now administer that money in managing the political structure that supposedly brought the current governor to power. Something that is so ridiculously selfish. But to Wike, that is your problem. Fubara agreed. This is what he did. That madman, Wike. He bought 33 House of Assembly tickets and gave it to people he wanted to be assemblymen. He also bought the same ticket for the House of Representatives, Senate, and then the governor. He bought 14 tickets of PDP tickets, and then he told the remaining 13 to step down for Fubara with the promise that he will take care of them, as Fubara has agreed that he will give them 30% of the state allocation to maintain their political structure. So he will become the Tifnumbu of River State. So for Fubara to now kind of change his mind is called a total betrayal, which will make it difficult for Wike to actually be that godfather that he wanted to be. The godfather of River State, who makes and unmake people. There was a guy who happened to be a member of House of Assembly in River State. When Wike bought all the forms and he shared it to the people he wanted to be House of Assembly members, they did not give this guy tickets because he was not considered as being loyal. The guy now went to Abuja to go and buy his own form in order to participate in that party primaries. When that guy landed in River State, on his way back from Abuja, the Nigerian police arrested him on the order of Wike. They locked him up for more than 30 days. They now released him after the party primaries has confirmed all of the candidates that Wike bought tickets for. That was when they released the guy. So his form, useless. He never participated. And in fact, it was released months later after election. After 2023 election, that's when they released the guy. A supposed lawmaker who was he wanted to go for second term or something. That was how powerful Wike felt. So for somebody like Fubara, who did not buy his own form to be governor, who did not want to be governor, Wike made him, got him the form, and then did everything to rig him and make him governor. The guy did not want to be governor. He never said he wanted to be governor. But because he happened to be the accountant general of River State, so the most they would do is like follow waiting Oga talk. Oga don't talk. So for him to now turn around and become the person challenging Wike is something that pays him so much. And it will assert his authority, his influence, even if he has to throw the entire state into turmoil, into chaos. And as Ankyo Briggs said, the entire state is now going to pay for that agreement he said he had with Fubara. If nobody can tell Fubara to go and apologize and follow what's waiting Oga talk. And to those ones who have been promised that turn by turn, you will be the next governor. Now you go be the next senator. Now you go be the next, This Fubara's action is going to affect their political career because they depend on Oga to tell them what to run for because he's the one that will buy form for them. That is why you're having this chaos. Fubara said yesterday that he is a victim of what Wike plotted. That he tried his best to honor waiting Tifnumbu mediated on when Tifnumbu said, you know, the best for Fubara is to decamp to APC if he wants to enjoy his government. And then they can talk to Wike. And since Fubara won't decamp to APC, well, whatever he sees, he should face. This was Fubara yesterday.
But anybody can get anywhere. One very special day that we're carrying. And somebody is coming to fight you. You need to fight the person. You need to use your two hands to grab the basket of the egg. Even if the person is chasing you, you stand and look for a way to protect your surrounding. Because you can run and hit your foot, the egg basket will fall. Who is going to lose? It's you. You can see why we are very careful and we are following this course with AI. They thought I wrote that because from the analysis at that time, there was everything that they have failed. So if today, these sentences and result to another pattern, it means that you are won. So I've invited every one of you to give you first the assurance that you have my total support to make sure that we drive this course to the end. First, because the support is what you need. Secondly, I want to assure you that look at the election is about the state. I might not be a lawyer, but at least I understand that it has nothing to do with any federal agency. It's a state matter. And thirdly, the beginning of this process to the end is between our own. It has nothing to do with any federal judicial institution. So we should understand this fact and play according to the rule. Now the second part of it is we need to go out there and tell the world that we don't hire people from Mobilises to come and protest. We bring people from the boundary between Imo and Maiyegun. I don't call them. We also bring people from the boundary near Akwa so that they enter Ghana and come and protest. The people that are going to participate in this election, the numbers that we are going to record are the real ingredients of this state. You know, this election, I'm the greatest loser. My party is not participating. It's the truth. But because of the Supreme Court ruling that there must be elected officials to manage the affairs of local government, I have, as a president, as a governor, I have to obey that. It did not end there. The president, after the Supreme Court invited us And we had an understanding that to have a compliance duration of 90 days. So what we're doing here is to make sure that even if my party is not participating, the council process must stand for the next. So, the good member of me here, and my party faithful, and you're not even benefiting from it, and you're here supporting us. So what is the problem? So I want to thank you for supporting democracy. I want to thank you for ensuring that there is rule of law. I want to thank you for sticking your leg out to make sure that Rivers State still stands among the committee of states. 10 states have conducted election with 2023 voters registered. These 10 states did not receive any voters registered from INEC. I don't know why the Rivers State don't. It's different. Is it that when it comes to the law of the federal government of Nigeria, when it concerns Rivers State, to assure you that as a government we are prepared.
Anon. So, where two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. In this whole face-off, I don't know if not giving Wike 30% of the state revenue has helped Fubara to improve the socio-economic well-being of Rivers people. I don't know that, but I have heard it too. Just like everywhere, as things are really tough for a lot of people, it is same in Rivers State. I don't know if that money that is not being given to Wike is being channeled into a structural or infrastructural development that possibly should make life even more meaningful and better for the people, like the education, healthcare, and just all that. I don't know. But wherever two elephants fight, it is always the grass that suffers. Tomorrow, they will slug it out. But it's not going to end there tomorrow. The fight will still continue, where if Fubara succeeds in legitimizing his own men, like I said from the beginning, that is going to be a huge blow to Wike's political relevance. And that is the truth. Wike is only relevant to Tifnumbu only if he still controls Rivers State. And as things stands, that is going to be a tough one to decide. A very tough one. If tomorrow Fubara succeeds in legitimizing his own men in all the 23 local government areas, like I said, you can begin to count the days of the Wike's relevance, because that will prove one thing, not just to Tifnumbu and some of us, the outsiders that have been following the situation in that state. It will also cut down some of those who still strongly believe that, I'm talking about the supporters of Wike. Yes, there are those who are currently in Rivers State that believes that Fubara will be taught a lesson. I'm talking about a very strong lesson that he will never forget in his life. Typically, the typical Nigerians, who believes that when they put Fubara here and they put Wike here, they will be the same match. Some of them would have to now see that truly power is transient. It doesn't reside with anyone and everyone forever. The only thing that is constant in life is called change. And this particular change is going to spell a political misfortune for a man that forgot how he became the emperor that is making himself today. They will have not much use of him anymore. And with the Tifnumbu that some of us know, it won't take him long to become a friend of the same Fubara. And the losers will not just be those local government chairmen that Fubara chased away this year. It will also be the floating House of Assembly members that were neither here nor there. Oga will no longer be able to protect them politically. Some of them will begin to backtrack, retrace their steps, and find themselves back to Fubara, because it's happened before. When Wike was facing Rotifmi, Amechi, Diubima, Judas Iscariot, in his own days, remember, some of them actually were following Rotifmi because he was a minister under Bokwari. In fact, there were some beliefs then that Rotifmi was going to succeed Bokwari. I know some of you probably don't remember anymore that in the APC, Egbekebe's presidential primary elections, Rotifmi came second. Yeah, without even probably not spending a dime. Tifnumbu bought tickets for about 20 people to say they want to be president in APC, where all of them now stepped down. But Rotifmi didn't step down. And he didn't, I didn't see any proof that he shared money like Tifnumbu. But he was the one that came second, not Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu. No. It was Rotifmi that came second. Now, there were those who then at the time, when Wike took over River States, there were those who still believed that with Rotifmi as a minister, the whole River State, Wike's time was going to be temporary, until they found out that River State is always going to be different from the Abuja politics. In fact, Abuja politics is to take you away from rivers. And if you are relevant in River State politics, you must be in River State every now and then. The moment you take an appointment in Abuja, it's just going to be a matter of time before those who are following you will begin to find their trace and go back and apologize to the person who is in charge. That's how Rotifmi lost some of his strong supporters. They ended up collecting money from Wike, and they became Wike's foot soldiers. Today, Fubara is in River State. Wike is in Abuja. And only those who can fly to Abuja will see Wike. And by the time they get to River State, a lot has happened. So if after tomorrow, Fubara succeeds in legitimizing his own men, that's it. Wike would have to actually find his way, not out of River State, but out of Nigeria, because something is going to happen afterward. Most of those who are kind of praising him, those who are singing his praises, licking his butt crack, his ass, and the rest of them, right? They will begin to see their losses, that they are actually going to be the grass that will suffer between these Fubara and then Wike. But let's leave them for now and wait for tomorrow. I'll take a short break. I'll be back in a minute.
Jay, help us, help us. There is God, oh. There is God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh. God should descend, oh, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will...
God will descend here. Talking about the situation of Nigeria, as we have seen that APC, they are, especially the one that is now being led by Tifnumbu. Do you hear me? Please let me know if the sound is still all right. If the sound is acting up, let me know before I continue. Here is Mr. Udenta, who is reacting to what the state of Nigeria is now, where Tifnumbu and his gang continue to cook up so what is called the propaganda, something that is only relevant and useful if you are campaigning for an election where a supposed government that knows that if your policy are not really kind of impacting positively on the lives of the people, you don't use propaganda to tell them that they are the ones who don't understand, or they should wait, or be patient, as they've been putting it. I'll come back to Mr. Udenta. Let me first start with Mr. Bugaje, a PDP scribe, on top of Tifnumbu's recent lies called the independence speech. Now come to Udenta.
That worries me a lot, because they think that anything other than this serious stuff is none of their business, and that worries me. But it brings me to a point, Dr. Bugaje, the president's speech on democracy. He mentioned and he touched on quite a few things. Issue of how to galvanize the Nigerian people, the need for unity. How do you assess President Tinubu's speech on the 1st of December?
The first thing is that that is not a speech. It's empty. The words are completely empty. How many times has he said that?
It went below your standard?
It's not even a standard at all. There are issues that worry people. He's supposed to speak about food security. That is what happens. He's supposed to tell us what he has done about food security.
He said that. He said that our farmers are going back to farm.
Which is not true.
He said that.
Which is not true.
We're going to wrap up
which is not true.
Production.
Which is not true. Has he spoken about the climate change that has wiped away whatever little gains we have done? Look at Maiduguri, look at Kebbi, look at Ibadan, look at so many other places, the flood. He doesn't even know what is happening in the country from the speech. Because if he did, he would have known that what is most important are the issues of food and the issues of security and the issues of the economy. You just mentioned it. The purchasing power has been completely destroyed. I mean, people who could use their earnings to buy food, they cannot do so now. Naira has basically no value at the moment. So these are the issues that he should be addressing. The fact that he acknowledges that citizens are going through very tough times, he doesn't realize that one, he has been elected not to acknowledge our suffering, but to fix it. And when he speaks to us, he should be speaking about how does he fix the problem. And then he does not live as if he knew that these things are happening. He's buying a new jet. He's traveling all over the place. His family members are doing all sorts of things. Is this the way to really empathize with citizens who cannot eat, who cannot sleep, who cannot go back to school, who cannot go to the hospitals? This is what is happening in this country.
Dr. Bugaje, just in about 40 seconds or thereabout, because we need to close. Your final thought on the program. I don't know when next I'm going to be able to grab you and get you into the studio. For the rest of over 200 million people of this country and millions of those of them who are watching, who have fortunate to have power, or who are able to charge their phone and watching on their devices right now, what kind of hope can we garner as a people? And what should we be doing by this time next year when we talk about another Independence Day? How do we survive? How do we stand as a people for the sake of our country? Our country is that precipice that we need to salvage it, isn't it?
The few of us that are still able to breathe in this suffocating environment have a responsibility to rescue our country. And what we need to do is to come together, form networks, and see how we can address the question of leadership. Because everything that is happening to us, if you reduce everything to what it is, it comes to leadership. And it is this leadership that we need to focus upon. Yeah. We need to develop a criteria. You cannot be a president until you have certain things. Look at Singapore. Recently, you know, there were about 4 people, and they run this criteria over and over again until they came out with someone who fit the criteria. They are not throwing away the others because they have some kind of collegial leadership. Anybody else would still be useful in a particular. So I think the focus.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax net. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the
fellow Nigerians. This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. Mr. Udenta, please add your own to this as well. It's so similar to on the lies that the man that was supposed to be honest enough. I found that, I kind of find that a little bit insulting though. You know, when people says that they expect Tinubu to be honest, or they were surprised that he lied to 200 million people. I find it a little bit insulting. Like, how do you expect a man that whose life and everything about him is a lie? His age is a lie. His birth is a lie. His work life is a lie. His political life is a lie. Everything about Tinubu is a lie. Even Nigeria is a lie. Speak on, sir.
If you take a few of the items there, 30 trillion already completely paid off. The Ways and Means loan. That is not true. A barrister, Victor Pato, I have to put his name out there because his matter is in public, took CBN to court. What they did is what is called securitialization, to securitize that loan. A federal government loan was now transformed into Nigerian sovereign debt. A debt that nobody borrowed on behalf of the name of the subnationals, and everybody in Nigeria now has a 40-year tenure that everybody, including me and you and our children, even grandchildren, will be compelled to pay. And a loan that National Assembly never knew when it was taken, never knew what it was done for, and all those involved have not even been criminally charged for it. So the 30 trillion Ways and Means loans are still there. They just converted it in a nomenclature change and variation. That is number one. Number two, there's another potent matter that was not even raised. Look at Heritage Bank. You guys can equally fact check me. The bank collapsed 4 months ago in an unpredictable manner. Even when a month prior to that, CBN had already assured that the banking sector was robust and all the banks were heavy. For 4 months now, no depositor has ever collected a kobo, in spite of all the noise in the public space by CBN and NDIC. So when they have depositors who are hurting and haven't collected the money, running to billions across board, and directors of those banks have fled into oblivion, not accounted, no one of them being held accountable. That speech of Mr. President should have ensured to bring that into mainstream focus, because that speaks to the health of the economy, health of the financial sector, health of the banking subsector within that broad finance. Democracy is under grave threat. I did say some time ago, I think in this platform, democracy these days don't fall because bullets are fired or guns are loaded and then released. It dies because those who take power using democratic means undermine the foundations of democratic governance. This current government is undermining daily, one, multi-party democracy by planting quislings within the ranks of the opposition parties in PDP, in Labour, and maybe to an extent in NMPP. The idea is to dissolve the coherence of the opposition parties and render the 2027 election prostrate, almost like the outcome is known beforehand. A leisurely re-entry back into power because you paralyze the ability of those other parties to grow. The Rivers example is very clear. What happened early on in Rivers State is shocking a democratic system. And everybody involved in that operation, that dark operation, must be held accountable, from the smallest policeman at the presidency to the highest level of that force. The second is that if you have the political parties running from pillar to post because of the impact of Quislings, and for the name Quisling, please go to the Second World War and find out where this term comes from. It's a Second World War term. I will not say on stage here, but go there and dig into it and find why these Quislings in the PDP and Labour Party must be routed for democracy to endure in Nigeria. Look at civic spaces. They are shrinking. Look at those still detained and classified as terrorists and terrorist financiers and treasonable felons for merely protesting. Is to create a condition of chill and apprehension and trepidation among the people and ensure that they do not raise their voice to protest. Labour, as an organized sector, for me, is still reeling from the impact of the savage war declared on the president of that NLC by the security and coercive apparatus of the state. The list goes on and on. That means that if we are not careful and summon the will of the founding fathers and mothers of this country, we don't summon the skills set of those who battle military despotism in order to confront the element of national dissent, not even into liberalism or authoritarianism. There's a creeping totalitarian mindset among this government today, and that must be resisted by all Democrats for this country's democracy to thrive.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. In a nutshell, simply put, what Mr. Udenta was telling you is that you may be deceiving yourselves that you have democracy, but you do not have anything called democracy. What Tinubu and his gang have done is to make sure that, number one, the supposed civil space where you can have viable opposition that can actually challenge the government, challenge them on every of their action, and make them believe that they have people they have to be responsive to. Okay? All this civil space has become so shrunk that they have infiltrated PDP, infiltrated APC, infiltrated Labour, infiltrated NLC, weakening all of them to the point that they can do whatever they like, whenever they like, say whatever they can say, and they do not expect any resistance from anybody. And what that simply means is that you do not have a country anymore. You have a place where criminals have hijacked the whole place, and whatever you see, or whatever you are kind of a dish, whatever they dish out to you is what you have to take. You can complain, you can cry now and then. If you dare come out to speak, you will be called, you'll be charged, you'll be arrested and charged for treason. Anyone that opposes them, whether you are a member of a political party or a political party as an opposition, you will be charged for trying to overthrow government. If you criticize them, you will be charged for treason. If you come out to protest against any of their policy, you will be arrested and charged for treason. Treasonable felony, which carries death sentence. Then we'll kind of make a lot of you to just zip up. And they can do whatever they like. Even if your country is entering into a total precipitation. I'll tell you that what that means. Like everybody good day in state of disma, pisma. Don't ask me for the meaning. It simply shall mean as you are on your own. That one that you say you have a human rights activist, you have this one active. They know they exist in a dystopian country or society they have created. What we say to you, take it. If you don't take it, then you are considered enemy of the country. If you criticize the president, you will be considered enemy of the country. This is North Korea 2.0. And this is how it works. Nobody will challenge them. If they conduct election, rig the election, you cannot challenge it. If you challenge it, you will be considered enemy of the states. That is where they are taking you. That is where Tifnubu and his gang are taking you. In case if you don't know yet. Some of you that are still feeling a little bit deluded, because I call it a delusion, deluded to think that this is our country. We have every right to. You don't. You don't. That these guys destroyed Nigeria. And those who are destroying the country, they cannot be criminally challenged, criminally charged, as long as they belong to the ruling party. They can't be criminally charged. It is either this way or no way, is what they have for you. I have a video of, what happened in Ondo State. It's still about APC too. They said they're having a PDP or something, PDP meeting. And then some guys came and said they were supposed to be APC. Remember, they're having their own governorship election like they had in Edo State. Yeah, they're having Ondo State a governorship election soon. And as it stands, it must be APC. Whether they have failed the people there or not, it doesn't matter. It must be APC, whether you like it or not.
APC ni wọ́n wọ́n kì í ṣe PDP kò pọ̀ sí nǹkan wọ́n lè ṣe ẹni tì mí báyìí wọ́n lè ṣe ẹni tì àwọn PDP lọ kọ́wọ́ pa wá ẹ lè ṣe ẹni bá na APC lọ́wọ́ wá bí ẹ̀wà gọ́vnà wa lẹ́nu yìí ẹ̀yin ò wá gọ́vnà wa lẹ́nu yìí ẹ̀wà gọ́vnà wa ẹ̀yin ò wá gọ́vnà wa ó di ọ̀run la fẹ́ 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 ẹ̀wà gọ́vnà wa agboola lẹ fi àbí ẹ̀yin PDP ẹ̀yin kẹ ẹ̀yin bágo APC làwa ṣe APC làwa àwọn òṣàgbọ́lá ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ a lè sálọ fún yín APC làwa ṣe ó dìrọ̀rùn làwa kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ mo lè bẹ́ ọ̀rùn yín ẹ ti ya wèrè kí ló jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀yin báwo APC làwa àwọn ò lè ṣàfọ́lọ́ pàtí yín. APC confirm. Yes. Orí bánà APC wà lọ ń ta bánà PDP síbo nìyẹn síbo APC ní gbogbo wa ń ṣe ń bí ẹ wà lọ ń ta bánà PDP kí ló jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ níbo ẹ ṣe mí torí burúkú.
Kò yẹ kó wọ́n ṣe nǹkan bí oúnjẹ bí iṣẹ́
à ń ṣe àdìbẹ̀rẹ̀ meeting wa then be 15 minutes after the prayer we are on board by one of our leaders Mustapha but we just discover pé àwọn boys kankan wà láti bẹ̀ ayédàtí wa lọ́nà wa o wọ́n bẹ̀ sí fọ́ọ̀gù wọ́n bẹ̀ sí dùkú wọ́n bẹ̀ sí dùkú lọ sí meeting attack punch your members PDP members. bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn member wa PDP member wọ́n bẹ̀ sí attack wọ́n gbó onígò ẹ̀jẹ̀ ní nílẹ̀ look at it ṣe báyìí many people àwọn kan ti lọ sí state àwọn kan ti lọ sí state láti fi kọ́ lọ sí jàrá wọn so nǹkan tá à ń tẹ̀ láti sọ báyìí ni pé afẹ́ kí gbogbo èèyàn kó gbọ́ kínní torí kì í ṣe àwọn nìkan ló wà nígboro ọmọ ìlú yìí ni wá then anybody kò lè lé wa nílùú yìí àdèmà àwọn náà we are trying to make sure that we face them squarely anytime any day.
ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn yín wà bí iṣẹ́ tá gbọ́ láti ká wá ṣe bí nìyẹn iṣẹ́ tá gbọ́ láti ká wá ṣe nìyẹn iṣẹ́ tá gbọ́ láti ká wá ṣe nìyẹn APC ni wọ́n wọ̀ kí ṣe PDP kò pọ̀ sí because wọ́n lè ṣe anything mi báyìí wọ́n lè ṣe anything.
See, people still do APC despite the shege that they are facing. By the way, that's Ondo State. So what happened at that meeting was that they used to be APC, but these guys now changed that they don't want to be APC anymore. Now they want to be PDP. So they are having their meetings as usual, and they put up the banner of PDP there for another person who is likely going to be the PDP candidate, governorship candidate in their upcoming election. So some of these thugs, the guy that is making the video and screaming was that, how dare you turn this place to a PDP? We're supposed to be APC. We are not PDP here. And they started breaking bottles and, you know what I mean, attacking them. One of them said that he was openly threatened for leaving the same APC. So it's more or less like a court. If you leave APC now, you are likely just signed your own death warrant. If you are part of them, or you join any sort of their elections, and the election is against APC, it's probably going to be a death warrant. It is what it has become now. You stay with us, we know they go anywhere. With this shege, all of us go again. You know what I mean? Listen to this one.
The Shehu Agba of Ondo State, láti ọ̀rẹ́ Òdìgbò, wọ́n máa kí wa. Orin tí mo fẹ́ kọ ẹ bá mi gbé, wọ́n ní national item tèmi. Alhaji Shehu Agba o, ìdí ọba lọ, ọ̀lọ́. Ìdí ọba lọ, ọ̀lọ́. Alhaji Shehu Agba o, ìdí ọba lọ, ọ̀lọ́. Kí alága wa pátápátá fún gbogbo Ondo State, ọ̀gá wa Bakita Bello, mo kí yín. Mo sì kí gbogbo àwọn àgbààgbà ẹgbẹ́ PDP pàápàá tí wọ́n wà nílùú yìí àti àwọn agbègbè yìí. Akínyìn pé ẹ kú lé o. Mo wá kí ọ̀gá wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ incoming governor wa by the grace of God ní on the 16th November tí a máa tẹ̀sójú ẹ̀ fún PDP. Fún Agboola Ajayi, mo kí wọn púpọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run á gbé wọn débẹ̀. Mo kí ẹ̀yin olóríire tí ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa torí pé èmi tí ẹ ń wò yìí APC ni mí tẹ́lẹ̀. Àmọ́gbà tí mo rí pé ẹgbẹ́ yẹn, ẹgbẹ́ ìmùlẹ̀, ẹgbẹ́ òkùnkùn, ẹgbẹ́ ògbóni, ẹgbẹ́ elébi, ẹgbẹ́ apàyànlẹ́kún, ẹgbẹ́ abadúkìá jẹ́, mo ní láti kú ọ̀nbẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí Islamic leader àti Islamic cleric. Nígbà tí mo kú ọ̀nbẹ̀, ṣíṣe ló ń dùn wọ́n. Ẹ̀mẹ́fà ni gómìnà ránṣẹ́ sí mi, mo lọ dáhùn lánàá, ẹ máa rí mèmí àti gómìnà lánàá, wọ́n dẹ̀ bá mi sọ̀rọ̀, gómìnà bẹ̀ mí, ẹ̀jìnà Adétìmẹ́yìn, wọ́n bẹ̀ mí, gbogbo wọn ṣe bẹ̀ mí tó, mo sọ fún wọn pé ìtí mo ṣe l'APC ti tó, mo lọ PDP. Àmọ́kẹ́ tó jọ mí lójújù, the governor of Ondo State, ó ṣe mí lálejò pẹ̀lú token amount. How much is token amount? That is 3 million. Bẹ̀tì lónìí torí pé mo sọ pé mi ìṣẹ́gbẹ́ mọ́, wọ́n ní kan wálé mi kan wá gbowó náà, máa sẹ́ndì owó yẹn padà fún wa. Alhaji Shehu Agba o, ìbí ọba lọ. Alhaji Shehu Agba o, ìbí ọba lọ.
So what the guy was saying is that yesterday he met with the state governor, and the state governor was pleading with him not to leave APC. But he's figured out that APC is like a court, Ogboni, secret court, a party for hunger, a party of deprivation and all that. So when it was called by the governor yesterday that they gave him a token gift of 3 million naira, not to leave. But he's made up his mind that he's leaving, so he's going to go and join the PDP. You know, there's no difference between them per se, even though some will be like, I know there's difference, Maiyegun. I continue to participate in their murderous charade, legitimizing the madness as well. It is all going to end up in the what? It's going to end up the same way. Anyway, I only played you that video because of the words he used there to confirm that indeed, APC, Egbekegbe na bad society, APC, Egbekegbe. They brought nothing but death. I have said this many times. APC, Egbekegbe, they come with, they represent three things. They came to loot, steal, they came to destroy, and then they came to kill. So, and an extra one, they will be the end of Nigeria. You can mark that, yeah, circle that. They will be the end of that contraption. And that's why I was like, you know what? Let it get to that stage of internal implosion. And when this implosion will begin, I want to kind of be confident, right, that those of you who have passed through the tutelage of this temple of truth, those of you who knows that keeping Nigeria together is more or less like a keeping together what is meant to kill us. So to break up Nigeria is a task that must be done. Remember this, so that when the implosion begins, when the total the capitulation of this contraption begins, you won't be among those who will be trying to salvage it. To salvage a place that is only there to kill all of us. So if you are passed through the tutelage of Maiyegun, the temple of truth, rather than fight or work for the survival of that contraption, you will join hands with others, okay, in decapitulating the entire place, and if all of us can go our separate ways. That is where we stand. And that's where you should stand. Please don't be a closet lover of that contraption. If you are still here, well, remember this. Yesterday's survivors, they are today's victims. Today's survivors, they are tomorrow's victims. Nigeria is turn by turn a place that is meant to kill all of us. And if it kills you quick, physically, you are lucky. Nigeria kills your dream first, demoralizes you before it finally finishes you off. And that is why I'll keep encouraging us that when we say break it up to save lives, it is not just our own lives. It is also the lives of our own children, our children's children, the generation yet unborn, the one that the current rogues have mortgaged their future. They've not been born yet. And I wish I could just go back there and say, listen, if you did heaven right now, as they say, waiting to be born into Nigeria, please don't. If I have a say to tell the future generation, I have one single advice. Do you know what that would be? Don't come. And this may be a little bit selfish, but it is true. It also can be a little bit kind of like, narcissistic or something. People will die yesterday or last week. In that contraption Nigeria, they will never know what God did for them. Today, if people are praying for long life, I ask them, why? You shall want God to preserve your life for what? Why? In that contraption, where you are facing the shege, where the children of Israel that work for 400 years are being come before they get to the promised land, as they say, what they faced is not 1/10 of what some of you have already faced in this your short life. So, if you are praying for long life inside the contraption, are you serious? Are you being serious? Or what? Anyway, we'll leave it at that. To the student of University of Ibadan, who suddenly got their rooms and their hostel flooded today. I sympathize with you. I empathize with you. And I hope you shall recover well enough for the next one, because nobody cares in that contraption.
Okay. Come on, let me show you the outside. See. I see. I can't even step out. This is what the first time like this. And I don't think they are ready to walk through it. I can't even step outside. I want to eat, but I can't go outside to buy something. Oh girl, I will never fall now. Wait, that we can't do. Now look at my room, look at everything, so people water.
It is what it is. If you don't kill Nigeria, Nigeria will kill you. It's been written. Go and check the book of Lamentation, chapter 5, verse 1 to 10. Nigeria is the weapon fashioned against you. If you no kill him, he go kill you. Last. Coffee or 10 cup of coffee or on and on. The link is still there in that comment. You can use it too. A cup of coffee costs $5. And it will go a long way if you chip in a cup. Thank you. And maybe you should grab your phone now if you have one or two things to say to all of this. I will be right back. That's right. Thank you very much for that. Joy Oko. I think I pronounced that right, yeah? The most important gift you can give to me on MaiyegunsDiary Politico is the cheapest one, and the most important, I would say, is for you to like the broadcast. Like it, then share it, or maybe even subscribe onto the channel as well. That shows that you are always going to be here. as a member of the temple yourself. And that is really, really valuable. Okay. Thanks a lot. Walking my brother. Ima, God bless you for your own super chat as well. I appreciate that. So let's see if the line is lining, if the phone is phoning, so that we can see if we have anyone who wants to add their own voice to the conversation tonight, right? I think I found something from Zamfara, quite interesting. I should have shared that earlier before the break, okay? And I think you should watch it. Remember when the sitting governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, I think, raised an alarm that his own predecessor, the man before him, Bello Patawale, who is now your Minister of Defense for State, is one of the sponsor of terrorism. That's not the only thing he did as a governor of Zamfara. This guy received over 200 billion naira in allocation. The same guy generated what was considered as over 100 billion naira in revenue, and then borrowed over 100 billion naira as well as loan, and there is not up to 2 billion naira completed projects in the state for 4 years. Quite a shocker, maybe not too many. But this guy had this exchange with Ruben Akwati earlier today.
Working centers for people. Now let me land.
No, because we have just about a minute. We have just about a minute to go.
The resources.
We have just about a minute to go. We don't have the whole day for this conversation. No,
so,
we don't have the,
then if you
we don't have the whole day.
Okay then.
Now, we started this conversation with the plight of Zamfara, which Governor Lawal says requires sober reflection. Then you've told us a lot about the narrative of Zamfara. I'm quoting the governor when he was listing his achievements. Now, are you aware that when you were talking about the plight of Zamfara, you were saying nothing worked when you got to the state 16 months ago, the state has been stolen blind, no school was functioning. But the court, the High Court in Kano, has said that you people, Governor Lawal and his proxies, have been going around media houses launching a smear campaign against former Governor Matawale, now Minister of State for Defense. Is it that, Governor Lawal and his proxies don't care what the court has said, and so you still continue with this plight created by Matawale?
All right, so Mr. Robin, this idea, we respect the court because it is the court that gave us this mandate. At the end of the day, we are even at the Supreme Court. And the idea that you reduce the question that we put in, one of the responsibilities of government is to hold individuals accountable. And I started my narrative from 1996 to 2023. Why are you reducing it to only Matawale? One. And second, when you say that we politicize most of these things, we are not a lazy individuals. We can actually deliver for our people in terms of healthcare and education and hold people accountable. A person that received 290 billion naira on fact share, 133 billion naira on a local government account, got a loan of 105 billion naira without no project of 2 billion that was completed in Zamfara State. What do you want us to do? And that is one. And we are not saying that we are not working. And if Matawale, we discuss about Matawale because we face the most problem in terms of insecurity. Overwhelmingly, the people of Zamfara State in the 2023 election voted for APC in the presidential election, but they rejected APC in the governor's election. There was a reason for that. And now the payment this administration is given to Zamfara State people for voting for them is putting back somebody they have rejected in the area of defense. And tell me the experience they have on there. And when we bring these issues, this is a person that was dialoguing with bandits. And at the end of the day now, this is the person in charge of taking care of this insecurity. If Matola was a minister for youth or minister of elsewhere, we wouldn't care less about it. It is the responsibility of the federal government to do that. Yeah. But the idea that you put this man in the center of our crisis, when over 6 million people are getting kidnapped, people in the population of Zamfara state, and in this local government, you cannot, the chances of me traveling from Fontua to Zamfara state and getting kidnapped or killed by bandits, the chances are more than 60%.
Commissioner.
And what have they done?
Well, Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Zamfara State, Commissioner Abdulmalik Gajam.
Working centers for people. Now let me land.
No.
That is Ruben Akpati, as usual, trying to shut someone up because they do not kind of agree with such expose. It is called smear campaign in Nigeria, where if you try to hold the public officials responsible for any reason, it's called smear campaign. That's what similarly, sorry my caller, by the way, that's similar to what if I say this Femi Falana is an old criminal, call him anything. They will say, defamation. What happened to insult? What happened to, oh, you are insulting me, or you are abusing me? They know they use the word abuse in Nigeria anymore. Now, defamation of character. Here is the first caller this night. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun General. Good afternoon, sir.
The African Wahala. Baba, how are you?
Yes, sir. I'm good.
Great.
I'm good. I just want to thank you, start off by thanking you for the Temple of Truth, for giving people like me the ability to brace up for what is coming up in Nigeria, because I now thoroughly understand that it's going to be a messy implosion at the end of the day.
It will.
As a result of all these events that have been happening.
Mm-hmm.
So,
bless you,
let me start with Wike. I have a question. So, I understand Wike wants 30% of the allocations from Fubara,
yes,
which
so,
in itself is a criminal offense.
Anything wrong in that. He said he brought him in. Fubara should come and say, if Fubara bought tickets, he bought the ticket, he invested in all of this. What is wrong in collecting a return to keep maintaining the political structure? What is wrong in that? He didn't see anything bad in that. And there are those who agree with him too.
Yeah, millions of even educated people, they agree with him. Mm-hmm. In fact, they will call someone like Wike, if he is successful against Fubara after tomorrow's elections, they will call Wike, he's a strategist, he's a very smart politician.
Uh-huh.
He has the political structure. He's a great politician. That's what they will say.
Yes.
Well, it is what it is. We're going to see how they both destroy each other, because me personally, I don't like Were Fubara, and I obviously don't like Were Wike. Yes. And if Fubara becomes successful, he will be the future Were Wike or the future Rotimi Amechi.
Absolutely.
To my second point.
Absolutely.
So to my second point, the reason why Nigerians did not go out to protest this time around when Sowore was calling them out, or it was one of the people, motivating them to come out and ask for the end of this mess, is because I honestly predicted this would happen, and it did. They didn't show up. It's because they've been broken. The people have been completely broken mentally, psychologically, financially, physically, even physically. Like the people, majority of the citizens don't even have enough nutrition in their body or energy to go out there and be protesting. They would rather just collect food and survive for the day. People are living day to day at this time. So it's unfortunate. It kind of reminds me of, obviously, I wasn't born during the colonial era, but during the colonial era, for the most part, people did not revolt against the British. Yes, there were some pockets of revolt. We had Fumilayo Ransom Kuti revolted against the Alake of Egbaland so that the Alake would tell the British controllers. Same thing happened, I believe, in maybe it might have been Enugu. The Enugu women's riot or Asaba women's riot.
From Abba, and that one was exactly to resist the taxation as well. When they insisted that women must be taxed as well, they were like, no, we won't be taxed.
But apart from these small pockets of revolts that happened, there weren't a lot of revolts against the colonial system. And that was because we were completely mentally, physically, and psychologically broken. It had to take Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, to inspire a revolution amongst African people. Then the British willfully gave the fake independence to the fake contraption. So we are back in that same cycle today in 2024, where we are under a colonial rule once again. But this time around, it's not by the British. Well, we still have that colonial rule by the British because the people ruling us now are the fellow so-called Nigerians, and they are ruled by the colonial British. So that is still ongoing, and it's unfortunate. And I'll go to my third point. Sorry, I'm taking so much time. We've been trying to. We have a bunch of things to say. We've been trying to call in for 3 days, but we've not had the opportunity. Okay. So finally, let's talk about Falana and Iniebe. So the issue with that is that although I'm not one of those people that would completely throw someone away, throw the baby out with the basket because they've done something wrong, I can still give people the benefit of doubt sometimes. But as far as that only extends to Iniebe, it doesn't extend to Falana for me. Falana, I can throw him into the complete garbage forever. I don't give a damn about Falana. Iniebe, on the other hand, I respect some things he has done as far as
I do as well.
standing
it's
up.
Unfortunate the level is actually is going. Baba, this guy is actually drafting briefs on how to sue people. Like he's drafting it. He's actually leading charges. It's the Falanos lawyer right now, writing everybody, between everybody because they want to protect the name of Falanos.
And it boils down to that big manism of the fake contraption Nigeria. The fake contraption Nigeria creates powerful people, weak institutions, so the poor people that make up the majority are forced to worship the few powerful people. So Falana happens to be one of the few powerful people, and Iniebe is hurt that who is this very dark man?
Yeah.
Although even we've had criticisms for very dark man, we once called him very dark man.
Upright person, right? He can wake up tomorrow and say something rubbish like Sheun Kuti. You get that now? Sheun is also pretty much not somebody that you can use as a textbook, a definition of somebody who has sense all the time, right? But whenever they say something that this is right? I don't judge them based on other things. But if you have to condemn the right thing they are doing, simply because of, come on, that's irrational to me.
Simply because of big manism, brother. Simply because of he wants very dark man to worship his big man, his chairman, who is Falana. And that's what the issue is. And all of this is not sustainable, but it is what it is. I hope people will find a way to not give all these people the respect that they are demanding. Okay, if you find yourself ever subconsciously respecting them, make sure that you train yourself to say, no, these guys don't deserve any respect. These guys deserve to be in prison for the mess that they've put us in. And we're all waiting for the organic collapse of the contraption. Thank you so much, Maiyegun.
Bless you. The African Wahala, my man. Here is another caller.
We're all waiting for the
organic
collapse of the contraption. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Maiyegun.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Bless you, sir. Please.
Hello,
Baba.
I mean, I've always listened, but then there's this lack of urge to call in, and it can be disconnected from the fact that everything is just tiring. Anyway,
it can really be.
A lot
it's exhausting. Sometimes when people ask me, how are you doing it, Maiyegun, I said, well, I just have to. If all of us feel so exhausted, right? At the end of the day, we're just going to probably just remain in the pool of ignorance or like I don't care, and we should care, no matter how much we. We should.
Yes, we really have to, and I think I will start from that point of being the point that we have to care, and I would say there's something I've been doing for a while now. I've been trying to, conduct an informal study on Nigeria and why some of the things that have been are happening. I mean, I've always heard people say we have the best brains in the world and all. So I put up one or two things to, understand what exactly is a problem. So I looked at the indices of poverty, people queuing up for bread and yam. I know you've been seeing a lot of these online. But but then something really strikes me all of the time. I, try to just keep a calm to understand this situation. And that thing is the fact that, yes, we have people with certificates that are really, I don't know, I don't want to use the word they don't have sense. But for the want of a better,
because in the last 5 years at least, I have come to realize that those who parade themselves as educated people with certificates are more dangerous than those who don't have any certificate.
You just nailed
about all that is wrong with Nigeria. Their support for it is more dangerous than those who didn't go to school at all. So yeah, it's
my brother. You just nailed.
Selfishness.
I just have to say to you that you just nailed the results of the discovery of my study on the head. I mean, they are more dangerous than any other thing.
Their thought process is more so dangerous than those who didn't go to
very,
school at all.
very dangerous. Very, 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 very dangerous. And I want to let me start from here. Let me say that I want to congratulate you specifically for what you are and who you are. And there's a reason I'm saying that. I'm saying this because, trust me, Nigeria has a lot of very intelligent people, but they don't have brilliant people. And I want to say you are one of the brilliant people.
Thank you.
I will tell you the difference between both and what I found out. For me, I'm one of the most vocal people against Reno mockery online. And whenever I speak, I've realized that there are some people he set against me to tackle whatever I say, and I don't give them responses anyway. So, but I now found out something he did recently. All he has been doing, I've been trying to tell people that the attack on Igbo, the attack on Obi, this guy has something he's looking for. Eventually, he got what he wanted. So now this is where I'm going. This guy is intelligent and he's brilliant, but he's using his brilliance the wrong way, and that's the difference between you and him. He understands that a lot of Nigerians don't think, and that is where brilliance is different from intelligence. Intelligence is just a matter of cognition. You can read, you can understand, you can write. It has to do with how you use your mental capacity and all. But I don't know if you are familiar with the saying that it takes more than intelligence to speak or write intelligently.
I have.
I don't know if
I do. I am very much aware. I'm familiar with that as well.
Then
because
if you have
con men, people who can use their intelligence, right, to sway opinions, and then use that same to con the people into making them believe it's on their side. It is dubious.
Exactly.
I've seen it many times. People have done it many times. You use
your
what looks like an intelligence to speak like you're on the side of the people, and then you hand their trust. Meanwhile, it was all for commercial stuff, right? For personal gain.
Exactly. It is dubious, but I believe that with the amount of certificated people and this big paper rubbish we have in Nigeria, a lot of people should be able to understand these things. But unfortunately, they cannot. So I was able to draw a line between what intelligence is as opposed to what brilliance is. So I'm like, these people are intelligent, but they are not brilliant. They are intelligent because they can read, they can write, their mental capacity could stop some things. But the brilliance is in the fact that you need creativity, you need analytical thinking to be able to deduce that these guys are actually dribbling you. These guys are conning you. And this is what the people
they make people like us, if they make it hard and difficult for people to trust people like us. I still have people who
Mr.
believe
Maiyegun.
that this Maiyegun too, this Maiyegun too. No, it's a matter of time, Jerry. This Maiyegun too, very soon. Instead go. I have been dealing with that many times. I am not here to prove anything to anybody. I've said that many times, okay? But the likes of Reno and Co., they make it difficult for people to actually take us to heart or what we say. Because to them,
Mr. Maiyegun,
give them
do you know something, sir?
Mm-hmm.
You know something, sir? One of the most difficult things for me to do now is engage people in conversations. I don't like doing it anymore because by the time you say 1, 2, 3 things, I see through you already. And I'm like, no, I don't want to get into this murky water with this person. I just keep to myself. So why it baffles me so much that people I'm supposed to respect, probably because of the paperwork you have and the research you claim you've done and all. By the time you open your mouth, I feel irritated.
That's why.
Because these are things you should know.
And they tell people that you see, you should keep your mouth shut. Because the moment let people guess that you are intelligent. And until you open your mouth, if you don't open your mouth, you will raise all doubts. You say, I mean, you tell of damn it, you know that kind of level. We have had that with some of our elder brothers, so people where we think say they guess.
Oh my God!
When you open their mouth, you are just like I should really go you pisha.
Oh my! I mean, lastly, before I go, so that I'll allow others to also speak here. I want to also commend you again for some of the things you've said about the pastorpreneurs. And I would like to, tell the Christians among us on this temple to go and watch what their daddy has said about the fact that you don't need tithe and offering to be able to get to heaven. I mean, he has come out and apologized. So more are still coming. I mean, Abel Damina is doing a great work revealing some things about these people. Yes, I know the Abel Damina himself is not 100% pure because he says some things that are stupid too. But then, the fact that he's doing some things to actually force these people out of their comfort zone to come out and apologize to the people is something. So, and about Wike and Fubara, like African Wala said, I mean, I don't really think we should be interested that much because if Wike wins, it is not good for the people. If Fubara wins, it is also not good for the people. So at the end of the day, I mean, we are all in it for. So
we are the
just have a wonderful time, Jerry.
You too, man. Thank you very much. Okay, Dabi, you have a good night. Okay. See, people need to understand that when these guys fight themselves, the people are the losers. If you go on and share them on, which is what most people do all the time, you share them on, you kind of feel like yes, Fubara should deal with him, and all of that stuff. But where does the people stands in all of this? At the end of the day, an enemy, because they are all your enemies, though, right? So if one gets, caught short, it gives the other a bit of leverage, and that leverage is for him to replace the one that just got caught short, and then we are the losers. Unfortunately, here is another caller. Hello there.
Mr. Maiyegun, good evening.
Good evening, brother.
Nice outfit.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to say thank you to the person who got me this. It's Yomi Totu. Yomi Totu now one special friend of mine, right? And I bet he's seated there and I'll be like, I love how this clothes looks on the Maiyegun. I love it too. And I appreciate all those who have commented on it, okay? Maybe I should wear more of it. Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. How is Port Harcourt this evening?
Well, I'm not in Port Harcourt.
Oh, where are you?
I'm not in Port Harcourt. I'm in UK. This is older.
Sorry. I don't miss Kotabo. There is a Dan from Port Harcourt. Okay, Baba. I take that back. How are you, Baba?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Well, the mixture of mental poverty and, like this man said, big manism.
Mm-hmm.
The mixture of that together, mental poverty and big manism, then you become unable to see far beyond, of the horizon, where you can see far what is going to happen if something like this is happening now. So it means you don't have that capacity you don't have wisdom, right? No matter how learned somebody is or whatever, if you don't have that wisdom, how exposed they're supposed to be. If that's your capacity or capability of having to be able to to judge the outcome of something, then that means you've lost. So those people who are saying that this is APC, this is APC or whatever, those ones you will be able to, as for me, the way I see it is that they still don't understand what is coming. So what they are just kind of looking for that immediate gratification. So where people will just give them a little bit money and that's it. They don't understand what is about to happen. And if you remember what Tinubu said the other time when he was saying, let's widen the tax net and so on. It is not it is not talking to the people. It's talking to the people who held the power at that time, right? And if you remember again when Tinubu said, let the poor breathe, he was actually saying the opposite of what they discussed inside their office that day when Buhari was beside him. Let the poor, because the Buhari must have been asking him, okay, how are you going to go about, because we've already looted all the dollars, all the foreign currency. How are you going to go about it to cover us all? Because what Tinubu is doing now is covering the immediate past government, right? And then he has to make it so hard for people to earn naira, and that naira is even losing value because there is no enough material out there. There's no enough food. So they have to ration it. Yes. So people are rationing by making that money to be hard to earn. And then even if you don't have that money, you will have to have a lot of it before you can buy, something tangible, right? So I think by that we should be able to connect the dots, right? So Tinubu is not working for anybody; he's working for the past immediate government, and then because of his big mannerism, and then he wants to show them that look, I'm the one, I can do it. That's the reason why he immediately announced that subsidy has gone on the first day. Right, so to make it,
did not,
yes, to prove it.
Note that he's going to pay for subsidy. I remember.
Yeah, so those are just so to prove to them, to those body that look, I can do it. In fact, I will eat the ground running. Is eating the ground running into making things hard to cash in as much as possible, to make it hard for people to earn, to buy. Even if you earn, you can't buy much. And how many people are rich in them? The middle class are subsiding anyway. So very soon we won't even have any middle class anymore. So it has to be very poor and very rich. And those very rich, by day, their money, apart from the one that have kept, their dollars in the house, like them, and
it's so real, Baba.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, so yes, until the present government now is held in on that. Okay, until Nigeria come to their senses and plot a serious revolt before, and if that is not happening, believe me, nothing is going to happen. Yeah,
done.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Baba.
That's all
let me take another one as well. Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Okay, I have another caller on the line, and I believe. Okay, I'll just let them introduce. Hello there.
On the line. Yes, Maiyegun, good evening. Thank God I'm getting you today.
You finally got me today. Good evening, man.
I can't believe you. I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Everybody can hear you, so you might need to mute that broadcast now that you are online. I mean, you have connected yourself now, okay? And let's talk. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me just.
Or go to another room if there are other people watching.
I've been so tired of the whole thing. If you watch, I've not been calling. Sometimes I try to call and I will not pull through.
I know. I'm so sorry.
What to talk about?
Go on.
From what? Let me start from the last caller. Tinubu is not working for any past government.
Right.
Tinubu is working for himself. You know, there was the time I called you here, and I told you that Tinubu will end up capturing the whole of Nigeria, and people were thinking I was lying. I was the person that said one certain time that the government will end up being a monarchy government. That Remi Tinubu will take over from Tinubu if we don't wake up from sleep. Now,
it's already happening.
Tinubu cannot be working for the past governors or presidents, and he's buying a private jet. So he's working for himself. A government that is working for the previous one will minimize things to protect the previous ones if he wants to protect them. But from what you are seeing out there is not what we are seeing. We are seeing the people that want to live a luxury life in the expense of Nigerian citizens. We are seeing people that want the best of aircraft, the best of Fiat, the best of hotel, the best of everything. And there's something you people don't understand. I keep on telling people that they don't. Tinubu did not just create ministers because he wants to create ministers. Because he has a lot of people to compensate. And that is why you are seeing this reshuffling coming up now. The first set has gone quietly. Second set will go and download their own wealth. They will go until he has settled everybody and captured everybody on his side. Those that are voting, he will still, even this Reno Mokari, all of them will still enter seats. And that is why they are loyal to him. This is all agreement. That is no, everybody is quietly waiting for his own position. So all this one that are saying that he's working for, this guy saying he's working for the previous person. He's not working for any previous person. Tinubu is working for himself and his family.
You know why I'm going to agree with you before you continue, ma'am, right? Is this. When he said subsidy was gone, what he did for that first month was to replace who receives that subsidy. So that people will believe that it was gone. And IMF that told him to go and remove it, they also came back and said, he's now paying double. To who? To himself.
To who? That's what I'm saying. What is it? You will be so shocked that everything you people are seeing that is going, that are not doing this. Tinubu owns almost everything in Nigeria now. I'm just, if you can remember my voice far back, you remember. I said it.
I do now.
And this guy you're seeing now that you people are calling Tinubu, Remi Tinubu, forming virtuous woman. He's the, you know, he's a man that has a long-term plan in whatever he does.
So we're told
Remi Tinubu entered into that place to study the atmosphere. He gained the ground, captured the ground, gives his husband the feedback. That's what you're seeing today.
She spent 12 years in the Senate. 12 years to understand the budgeting, to understand the money, to understand all the power and all of that intrigue and all that. Oh,
exactly.
You are so
she was
right.
not a regime member before. She entered regime, quietly entered regime, studied regime, understudied them, and got them to his pockets. Now, I want to come to that of Fubara. I don't want to say much. Other people will come and say their own because I have a lot to say, but not.
You can say all you want to say right now. I want to listen. Go on.
You know Fubara's case, Wike's case. The other guy was saying that he doesn't care anybody. I care for Fubara to win the case.
Right.
Do you know why I care? They will understand that no man owns the land. If you are powerful today, tomorrow it will be another person's turn. It is the issue of allowing Tinubu to rule over and over without anybody challenging him. That is why he has captured Nigeria today. If Fubara, if Amechi captured Port Harcourt, the way Tinubu captured Lagos, maybe by today, maybe Amechi might be the president, and today he will be capturing the whole of Nigeria.
As usual.
So let that be a wait. I don't care people whether they win, whether they don't win. Even the masses will still suffer it. So the issue here is that I don't even stop. I'm not supporting any of them, but I don't even want Wike to win this race, so that his egos will come down, so that we'll not be tyrants like Tinubu again. Because if Fashola has done the right thing, Aboda has done the right thing, Tinubu will not capture the whole of Nigeria.
It will not happen right now. You are right.
So let's let them. When when the center, when things fall apart, the center cannot hold. So we don't want the center to hold. Let them keep fighting, because whether they fight or not, if they don't kill us through fighting, they will kill us through our own protests. So let them begin to dig it out.
So there's no point in one person becoming the Lord of all.
No, we don't want anybody to become
if there's
that
anybody
Lord.
to challenge them, it must be them. So if
Let
people
them
are powerless,
challenge
that they can't challenge them, then let them challenge
Exactly.
themselves and cut their own
Thank
ego.
you.
I agree. I do.
Thank you. That's my own. Honestly, I'm so pained that as I'm calling you, my husband is calling my phone. So if not, I have a lot to say, and I
am
hope that
just
by
going
tomorrow,
to let you go.
I'll be
Then
able to say a lot. I have a lot of things that I've penciled down that I want to discuss with you guys tomorrow.
I will have you. Probably. I will be lucky next time again. See, there's no time that you can share all your views with us. Okay. So I appreciate this, ma'am. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Okay. God bless you, ma. I like that. See, she just said something that somehow, if you do not have all the resources and all the power to tame these people, sometimes for your own to your own satisfaction, right? You can watch them decimate themselves. And she made a very valid point. If the likes of Fashola that succeeded Tifnumbu, if he did not continue the tradition of this godfatherism for Tifnumbu after 2007, you are likely not going to have a Tifnumbu that is now doing Ushege in Nigeria today. That's some point, if you come to think of it. Charm, what do you think?
That's a valid point, my.
Somehow, you know what I mean? Like, people are already helpless, right? And it's only them that can actually destroy themselves. Their cooperation is not to our advantage. So if they are destructive, whatever towards themselves is not really to our advantage, it could be to our satisfaction. Good evening, ma'am. How are you this night?
I mean, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you. And I believe you're talking about Fubara and
based on my last caller's position.
Right? Yes, and I with I'm not a said that he's no Wike when Wike was still in pain. So them having a go at each other doesn't mean anything to me, right? He's just teaching the next person how to really capture River State. That's what Fubara is doing, right? Because if the whole idea is to capture the local governments, which will make it easier for him to control the place, then he's just telling the next person, he's just giving the next person a blueprint for how to capture River. But if he cannot unseat Wike, well, that's one thing. But I'm not going to start praising him or start, rooting for him or whatever. What we need to do is to break the contraption, just like you've been saying. After you break the contraption, you can now do electoral reforms and decide exactly how you want to govern yourself. I've already said to you, I don't believe in this democracy. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like Fela said, this is demonstration of crazy. That's whatever is happening here. In fact, calling it crazy is just simplifying the problems that we have in the country. It's something else. That's what it is at the moment, right? The reason why I wanted to call today was actually because I wasn't really going to let people talk and listen. Right, it's not a real place. It's not a real news station. Those are lazy journalists that we see there. The likes of what's his name, Ruben Abati and co. Those are lazy journalists. Imagine him having a go at someone instead of the hard work that you need to do is actually carry yourselves, your stupid selves, to Zamfara and see the state of Zamfara. Then you can have something to talk about. Then you can fact check him, on based on what you have done on ground. We have a lot of lazy, very lazy journalists, and Ruben is one of them. Ruben is as far as I'm concerned, he's a plant. That one is not a human being. I think he has, some political alliances. No, I think I'm 100% sure that he has some political alliances.
He's a member of the establishment. That was the guy who deputized a drug dealer, Esho Jinodu, Buruji Kashamu, when Esho wanted to be governor of Ogun State in 2019. Reuben Abati actually stood in to be his deputy. Today he's a journalist.
Exactly. So he knows, and he's supposed to be a journalist. So I've watched him and I've watched Arise News. I watch a lot of Arise Trending, and whatever they're doing there, they're not doing anything to actually move the needle in any direction. In fact, their work of journalism is actually making the country worse, because it keeps the people ignorant of exactly the problems that it has at the moment. When there was a guy who you were talking about that was explaining the situation of how the country has been captured when you don't have an opposition. I can't remember his name. But a lot of people
was talking about the level of the civil space has been shrunk and infiltrated, compromised, to the point that we are all watching people.
Absolutely.
We're watching Tinubu criminalizing opposition, criminalizing any position that is contrary to their own, and nobody is raising a limb.
And nobody's saying anything. These are the things that we'll see in other countries, and it will be glaring to us that, listen, you don't have a country anymore. You don't even have a democracy. You don't have a government when things like this is happening. And it's happening to us right now.
Look at the NLC. NLC have been conquered. They were used to be the main opposition where political parties are not, right? Today, people in NLC, TUC, they are afraid to call for mass protests in Nigeria because they will be charged for treason.
Exactly. Or they'll be charged for treason. And we just live in a crazy time. Like a lot of people have been saying, I think this thing is going to blow up the country, whether we like it or not. And maybe that's a good thing, because we need it. We need the country to be disintegrated. We need need for ourselves to go our separate ways, so that we can stop hearing, stupid nonsense like, oh, they want to introduce IDP camps in the East. When you stop having things like that, when we stop having, to do with each other like that, and then really face the problem of governance, the problem of good governance, transparency, accountability, and all of those things, and then we can then decide whether or not we want to come of United Nations Africa, and things like that. But we will remain nations independent of, overseeing our resources and things like that. I don't really have a lot to add, because you've done all the hard work. You've done a deep dive into the River State situation and things like that. I think the thing that really bothers me the most is Reuben Abati. Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like if it's going to blow up, maybe it's going to start from River State. Maybe from River State to spread to other countries. Maybe people will not have the liver to start, going after certain people, especially the ones in Imo State. I'm just interested in seeing the end of Hope Uzodinma. I keep going back to him because the man is, he's taking the piss at this point in time. It's unbelievable.
I tell you, man.
Please, let me let other people call, but
thanks, Charm.
I want anyone who is watching to understand that Arise is not a real place. It's not a real news station, and nobody should take Reuben Abati seriously at all.
Bless you. Okay, you have a good
Thank
one.
you, Maiyegun.
My regards. Okay, you have a good one, ma'am. So that's a lady there, Charm. You see, a lot of people can see through the bogus, and in fact, a lot of people can see through the collusion. It's called collusion of the media in Nigeria. They are not really using their platforms to educate the people, but to further socially condition the people in such a way that, it's all good to be biased if you can factually bias. If you can be factually biased and say, well, you know what, we oppose this stuff because here is what we've actually, found out. The media in Nigeria, where you have investigative journalists, where you have media houses that can sponsor investigative journalism, people that can really go out there and dig out things, dig up, corruption enough that you're not just talking about it like everyone else. Oh, Nigeria is corrupt, everybody is corrupt. No. You are coming out with something that when politicians show up on your TV or on your platform, right, you are presenting to them facts that they cannot dispute, so that they don't turn around and be like, oh, you just hate us. It's because you don't like us. No. Politicians go to different platforms in Nigeria to launder their supposed images, to lie to the people. And then the journalists are afraid to ask them real questions, or just kind of like nonsense questions. I understand where Charm is coming from, but here is another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Very good. And you?
I'm very well, sir. Thank you for asking. Please.
So I would just like to pick up from where the last caller called. You know, when you are talking about, you are complaining about IDP camp, you are complaining about we need to separate, we need to do this, that. That one is still a long way to go. No matter what tribe you are from, we all have problems with our leaders. A Fulani man is not the reason why I'm outside Nigeria. An Igbo man is not the reason why I'm outside Nigeria. A Yoruba man is not the reason why I'm outside Nigeria. It's our leaders from all tribes. If the country was working, you will not have problem with IDP camp being beside you because you know everybody will follow the rules. If they don't follow the rules, the security will be there to protect you or they'll be there to stop the crime. In Europe, here, we have plenty refugee camps around. You know, the only people that complain about it are racist because it's not really affecting anybody. We just don't have a working system. That is just it. And, you know, yes, it's very sad that we have Nigerians abroad who are pushing this government and this agenda, but you cannot sit down in your house and continue to be hopeless, waiting for a leader. All Nigerians in Nigeria, they are now brainwashing themselves just to cope. They all think the same thing. Yes, they all think the same thing, but it's so painful to say because you don't even know if your neighbor will betray you. That's where we are at because we don't trust each other. Our environment is such a criminal environment in that country. And toxic too. And it is not because people wake up and they say they want to be criminals. They have left them no choice. Even people that are good at heart, they are doing prostitution on the road. Do you think they woke up in the morning and say, my ambition is I want to be a prostitute? No. That's the condition that they put them in. So, and they have no protection. So, Nigerians in Nigeria, don't wait for another Nnamdi Kanu because it's Nnamdi Kanu that gave you hope during Buhari regime. Don't wait for Maiyegun to tell you, oh yeah, it's time, let's attack these people. Don't wait for Sowore to be playing a losing game because he's playing a losing battle. To me, it's just a distraction because you guys should not get any hope. That is when you wake up. You have too much hope here and there. People latching on to wherever they can latch on for hope. Hope will not work. Hope will not work. You have to realize this. Hope will never work. Don't wait till it's a big crowd. It will never happen. If you have that decision in your mind, these people, yes, these people are letting you know that they want to buy you. If somebody wants to buy you, can't you do self-defense? Must you form a group? If you form a group, there will always be a bad person inside. If you are waiting for a leader, they will bribe the leader. You have to. When somebody does you bad and you are complaining and they don't want to stop, you give them a taste of their own medicine and that's the moment that they stop. You are not going to hear it from any of us saying it, but we all know that you are thinking it. We all know. Because if it is to punch down, Nigerians are very good at that. But when it's time to punch up, that is when they will become scared. They fear the same things that you fear. Ask yourself, what are you afraid of? They are human beings too. They fear it too. We abroad, we cannot come in with weapons to come and fight for you. We can only tell you how bad it is because you people have brainwashed yourself. And at this point, you cannot take the brainwashing anymore. So when we tell you the truth, we know that you are listening. You cannot lie to yourself anymore. You are suffering. That fuel price is still going up. That dollar rate is still, Naira is still worsening. Why would they ever stop something that is benefiting them?
They won't.
Think about it. If they fix your problem, it does not benefit them. No. So why would they ever fix your problem? You must really be crazy. You must really be crazy to think things will ever get better when it does not benefit them. Do you think they care about you? You care about them more than you care about yourself.
Wow.
And they don't care about you at all. You don't even care about yourself. You care about them more than they care about you. And you say you are proud. Proud of what? Proud of what? The elders say they want respect. Respect for doing what? What have you done for the Igbo youth? What have you done for the Yoruba youth? What have you done for the Hausa youth?
Nothing.
What have you done for the youth that you think because you are Yoruba you must collect respect? Or because you are Igbo you want to inherit respect for doing no work? They have failed us. Our men in Nigeria have failed us. That's why the women are prostitutes.
If you can take them out yourself, you don't need to pass, you don't need to discuss it with
You don't
anybody.
need to discuss it or wait
You
for
don't
somebody
need
to
to
lead you.
wait for a leader to tell you to do it. You don't, if you
Just
can
do
get
it.
away with it, because they get away with everything they do, and they do it in your face. Do they tell you that they are going to do it? Do they organize? Do they plan? Do they group together? Do they wait for a leader
Just wait
before
for
they
it.
take action against you? If you cannot think like them, you will die suffering, because nobody is coming to save you.
No one is.
Nobody.
No one is.
Your last chance was Nnamdi Kanu, and before you get another Nnamdi Kanu, it may be decades and you may
It
be
could be
long
another
gone. And it's
decade or two
yes,
or
and it's
three.
your children that will inherit this problem. This is not a curse, it is not a swear. We are talking about facts, because we are somebody's children and we are inheriting problem. Do you think the next generation will not inherit the problem but worse?
They will inherit it, Baba. So if you
If
are
you are not,
thinking it is better you do it. You don't need anybody to motivate you. If Nigeria is pinching you, you do not need the Maiyegun, you do not need the Nnamdi Kanu. You know where it is pinching you. Just do it.
you know what to do. You know what to do. If you want to do it to somebody that is weaker than you, you have all the energy in the world. You will know how to do it and get away with it. Do you ever think that they will arrest this Yaya Bello? You must be daft.
So.
You must be really foolish to think that Falana, that you people, all the elders you respect in your society, your Oyedepo, if Jesus came to Nigeria today, do you think that he will say Oyedepo is his son? In America, some of you that you are black in America, you just come here, you just inherit everything that the black people have fought there for. Their pastors were fighting for their rights that you enjoy. That you enjoy. You go there and you enjoy everything they fought for. Yes, they may be behaving somehow, but they are better than you because they have fought for that freedom. Have you? Have you?
Let there be a question that every one of us take with us. You do not wait for those who are not feeling the pinch like yourself to come on and give you a solution or probably lead it for you. A lost battle you said Shura is fighting. That's some hard knock. Prof, thank you so much for adding your own piece. Thank you. You have a good one. Yes, sir.
Good night.
See, sometimes the word can come out in a brutal way. However, the point there is that if nothing is done, if all of us are waiting for somebody to do something, meanwhile, what it takes or what it will take is just for those who, for those of you who are like having the direct impact of these failed criminals on you. There are those of you who have this thought of what you think should be done to these criminals. Unfortunately, you don't think you have it in you. And then you want somebody else to try and do it. Nobody's going to come and do it. That's what my last caller has to say. Here is another caller. Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine. How is your family? How are you and your family?
We are very well, oh. We are surviving. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, Maiyegun,
yes, sir.
I want to talk about Rivers State.
Go.
The drama we can go
you want the acting.
Wike is acting the drama because he fell and he know that he has already fell to Rivers State. People have rights.
But he believes he has the control. He controls the IG. He has access to some money. He's in the presidency. You know.
He is the one that rigged. He is the one that rigged Tinubu in. So you can have IG. Nigeria don't have law.
No.
We say that criminal so-called culture. I'm living in Rivers State. I'm from Rivers State.
The one that publicly confessed, though, that they rigged the election during Amechi is still walking free as we speak.
That criminal, if you see I have the video, what he did in the day of election last year. I have the video. It's still on my phone. That criminal, that so-called culture, that criminal, because that criminal is nearly died. Wike saved him. He sold all those many property he had in River State. But we can take River State money and save her life, save his life.
Wow.
That's why he came and snatched his king's people to snatch ballot boss in Obiakpon local government. That criminal come out openly say that he did the election during Amechi. The Amechi time. That criminal. See, what
because Nigeria is a crime scene, though. That's why somebody like that could say it publicly.
You can do anything and go court free. Nothing will happen to you. If Nigeria is a country, Tinubu is supposed to be in jail.
As well, you're right.
I thought they will be in jail.
But they are the ones collecting national honor today. GCON, GCFR.
If is a terrorist, supposed to be in jail. All these people, we can himself supposed to be in jail because you come openly.
Did you see what they did to those INEC officials? The people they beat. The video is still online. Oh, all those NYSC coppers that refused to hand over the results of their beavers and the logging of the beavers for them to change the results. They beat them like, seem to say they were armed robbers. They were like beaten bloody, and yet election result was announced.
We can come openly in national television that he got tickets for Fubara and Co.
Yes.
Nobody arrested, nobody threatened. What ticket is it belongs to you? Is it the law that you are a state government?
It's
you have right
it's
to
the law. Criminal.
You have the money. The money is your own. All these things, sometimes I said, if somebody will die and come out and come back again alive, nothing will make me to be a Nigerian. I'm telling you before God.
If you get choice, so like if they give you choice, say, oh yeah, you won't go back to this world, oh yeah, choose.
Instead of me to be a Nigerian, I can come from Malawi. But Nigeria, nothing will make me to be a Nigerian. I'm telling you before God, man. What all of them they are saying now, 2027, we just only 1 year. You remember 3 years or 6. We are talking about 2027. You don't talk about the present situation we are in. You see what the brokers so-called their president did on October 1st. Did he talk anything about the hunger? One bag of rice is 100,000 naira. One bag of
it's more like I mean the money they are actually going to waste on some of these fights and all of that could really save a lot of people out of poverty, by the way, but they don't care about the people.
One bag of there is 100-something thousand naira.
Wow.
Who get the money to buy? That criminal that so-called Imo State governor, that one is supposed to be in jail. That one is 419.
And now?
Supposed to be in jail. That one is supposed to be in jail. That one, what he wants to do in Imo State, he just say build IDP camp for his generation, not that his generation will be in that IDP camp. People are hungry, no road. That person build that IDP camp. Give you road there. No road. You come on television and talking rubbish. What we see, come on television, you see all of them. All so-called APC government, APC, all of them have all of them have more than 100 and something media aid.
And now that's what they invest in now. And there are so many young people that want to be their media aid, so that they can come online, online to be laundering their images. Mm-hmm.
People are hungry. Nothing you will say that yes, I'm proud that I'm in Nigeria. Which what? Tell me one thing.
Nothing.
Tell me one thing. We don't have electricity. We don't have good road. We don't have hospital. Forget about water. These three things, we don't have it. Last 2 or 3 weeks ago, there's one program they did in radio, in Port Harcourt there.
Right.
One military man called and crying that if the people are doing right, if they are doing protests, the military is 100% on them. They support them. So how much are they paying them? They are hungry. All those political. See what IG. Somebody tells a minister told you because of that you are against a elected government. What are you saying?
Like this is a matter of somebody feeling too big, and then we decide to make a whole state ungovernable because he wanted to have his way. Who does that?
Because he said he's untouchable. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Brother, thank you very much. You didn't tell me where you're calling from, though. But it's all right if you want to keep that to yourself, though.
My number there. You see my number there. You see my number there.
I say it.
You see my number there. You know where I'm calling from.
I'll keep it that way.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. Okay. You take it easy and stay safe. All right. Thank you so much. You have a good one yourself. And good night. That is going to be our last caller for this evening. I promise you all that if we meet tomorrow afternoon, we should have a segment of phone calls so that at least, you know me, all this while that I've been showing you and giving you updates on River State, it's mostly down to what will happen tomorrow. And that tomorrow is here. We shall follow it through and see how it plays out. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for spending your evening with me again. And thanks to the person that designed or put me inside this agbada, this smart agbada, and this dress this evening. You're me too. Thank you. And to every one of you that possibly appreciate or appreciated this too, thank you. Everyone also who has been part of the charts, like the super charts, the main charts, those who have also bought me a cup of coffee, cups of coffee as well. Thanks to every one of you. We would have a meet here tomorrow. And it is going to be, oh, bless you, Latu, my person. Thank you as well. Thank you. I am going to see everybody tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the evening. And to those of us who are already at night, I'm going to say good night to us all, okay? Take it easy and stay safe. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun